Hello and welcome back to the channel for another College TF review. Today I'll be taking a look at another New Age release, that being H47P Guardman Sling Blade, aka a G1 incarnation of Transformers Prime Bulkhead. And this is a really awesome looking design that we saw, I believe, from X-Transbots, the Masterpiece company. Apologies if I got it wrong, but I believe they're the ones who reused that Inferno slash grapple mold to make a version of Bulkhead. And this is an awesome figure, really cool to see New Age take up that design. So you can get this guy over from Shizzy Store. Check out the link in the description below. But before we get into the figure itself, let's take a look at the packaging. Again, G1 style retro artwork. Pretty cool shot of him on the front as if he appeared in G1. Same thing on the side of the box, and there is the back of the box. You can see the top, again, G1 style artwork, very cool. Bottom, more cool artwork, converts from transport vehicle to robot and back. So there you go for the packaging. You do of course get instructions, which are tailored for this figure, as his transformation is slightly different from that of Inferno, New Age Inferno, H55 I believe. You can see because he has this whole new back section, newly tooled, so. But the rest of the figure is identical. But really nice looking sculpt here. Take a look at that face. You can see really cool looking kind of conglomeration of a G1 aesthetic with that Bulkhead mouthpiece there. He actually does have a mouth sculpt in there. You can see behind that mask. And that Bulkhead jaw is just kind of a face shield, which I thought was kind of a cool use. I believe this is as close to X-Transbot version as possible. I believe they just took that design. But very cool looking, nice paint apps, as New Age always does throughout this figure. Cleans up impeccably well, very nice material. It's got die casts in them, in the thighs here, like Inferno, and some in the feet, I believe, maybe. And then he definitely has some in the chest. You can see the back. Side profile, he does have a backpack, of course, but that is kind of part of the design. He has these big shoulder things. They're not really even shoulder things, they just come off his back. Kind of pauldrony, but... So yeah, there you go. He does come with one weapon accessory, which I wish he did come with another gun. And that is his big mace. Which is very well sculpted, nice paint applications too, and that does of course peg into his hand. And then you do get open hands as well, just like Inferno, and fisted hands. So I'll put this on, because you cannot transform him with that big hammer on, so with the mace. So there you go, there he is with his normal hands. Articulation wise, he is virtually identical to that of Inferno. So he does have a different face sculpt obviously, which does allow for much more range, so you can look up to a very far extent. That's not really looking down because of the jaw. He does not do side to side tilt at all. Then he can rotate the full 360, and then at the shoulders you can hinge out that far, 90 degrees, and you can do the full 360. You just have to maneuver everything out of the way, these big pauldron pieces, which they display out, that's all. And then you could lift these top pieces up as well, but they really just display out to the side. And you do get a nice past 90 degree bend there, out of the elbow, bicep swivel as usual, and wrist swivel since it can pop out. Then at the waist, no kind of ab crunch on these guys, unfortunately. That was true with all the figures in this mold, I believe. Unless you know otherwise, let me know in the comments, but there is no ab crunch. Then he does have waist swivel to about there, so not full 360, but still plenty. You can kick up plenty high, and if you go out to the side, you can get higher. And then you can, of course, do the splits here, up to there, and you can kick back very far too. Back doesn't hinder any of that. He does have a upper thigh swivel. He has nice double jointed knee bend there. And then you get ankle tilt, a very significant degree. And then you get, the foot can hinge upwards. It cannot really hinge backwards that much, just a little bit. So that is his articulation. Again, very similar to that of Inferno. And speaking of, let's bring him in for a robot mode comparison. There is New Age H55 Backdraft, I believe is his name. So you can see now they are same general mold, share all the components all the way from the waist up, with the only difference being the backpack, that is, and the head sculpt obviously, plus the accessories. And I am a little bummed that, you know, given the price of this guy, he didn't also come with a gun, or nor this other, you know, the Inferno's blaster piece, which Grapple also came with. He only came with his mace and the extra hands. But if you wanted to use Inferno's gun, you certainly can. Same fist sculpt. So you can have Bulkhead with Inferno's gun, if you so desire. Though I think it would have been cool to see more of a Transformers Prime inspired weapon that forms out of his arm. But there is that comparison. And just for fun, to get a comparison with the original Transformers Prime design, here is the Legends class. I believe it's a Commander class, something like that. Not modern Commander class, or Legion, something like that. It's a Legends scale size Bulkhead. Great little figures. I love this line. I have all of them. They're awesome. And there's that comparison. You can see obviously very different designs, aesthetics here. Bulkhead in Transformers Prime was a bulky dude, whereas this design is, you know, more just based off of Inferno, which I think is a pretty cool use. As we get him into robot mode, or into vehicle mode, it does make sense. But very cool looking designs. You can see the color match is pretty close. So very cool from New Age. So let's get these guys out of the way, and we can get into transformation. So again, it's quite similar to that of Inferno, with just probably, I mean, total number of steps are about the same depending on how you count it, so but pretty straightforward. So to begin, just like to hinge up these big back flaps, and then you do get circular tabs to go into circular ports there. Just combine it together like that. Then next come to the shoulders here, just detach them from the body, just like you would with Inferno. That also helps to rotate the head around so that it clears. So turn all that around. And then you can go ahead and detach the wheels from the backpack. Just lift that up and it'll free the whole shoulder section all at once. And then just pull the backpack out and that'll start unhinging everything. And just pull that out so it's out of the way for now. And you can come down to the waist and untab that as well. Makes it easier. And go ahead and flip the legs forwards. So now they are parallel with this little green tab there that went into that slot. And just hinge this all the way, because now we're going to rotate the whole upper body assembly here. So rotate this around all the way. And then we can come to these arm sections, and you just want to straighten them out and pull them back. So same thing on the side, straighten them out, pull it back, just make sure it doesn't get stuck on itself. All right, there we go. And then come to the wheels, hinge them forward, and just kind of leave it all out of the way for now, as those will combine later. Next, we just kind of take this middle section here and get it nice and flat and straighten all this out. And we can go ahead, you can see we have a nice circular tab here, which goes into the slot on the wheel there. So just fold that down, tab it in, same thing on the other side. Hold it all down and make sure that the arms overlap with that center green piece. They don't actually tab in like Inferno. There's actually a few less tabs on this guy than Inferno. Oops, it looks like I actually made a mistake here. One arm is backwards for some reason. It's odd. All right, let's flip them up. Yep, that side's fine. This side is backwards. There we go. So just make sure that what I messed up is these tabs need to be on the inside. You don't want them facing outside. Get 90 degrees there. All right, there we go. There we go. So it should all look like this once it's done. Sorry, I'm doing a bad job of this. This is really not a difficult transformation. It's pretty straightforward, especially as New Age figures go. So then you just want to pull all this up and out of the way for now. Actually, you bend it kind of like this, and it helps to go ahead and hinge out these pieces as well, like so. And then just straighten all this out. So we have some room to work on the legs. And to begin with the legs, you want to go ahead and hinge the feet inwards, pull out everything from inside his legs, just like Inferno. All this is the same. Rotate that up, then come to the side section, make sure the leg's nice and straight, push that up, and rotate this around. That's one leg. Same thing on this side. Start with that piece, doesn't really matter. Hinge this up, pull out the bottom of the foot, rotate, rotate, and there you go. So then for combining all of the leg pieces and everything, so the arms will fit inside of these slots, and then this tab will align with this little tab up here. So just kind of bring everything together here, like so. I like to start with the arms on each side, Just get them snug into the cavities, and then you can close everything up, and it should all tab in pretty easily like that. And then to straighten all this up, final touches, bring down these little panels, which will just cover up parts of the arm there, like so. Same thing on this side, bring down these panels, cover up the arms. And here we have Bulkhead in his armored transport military vehicle. It looks pretty cool. Actually, I guess it's not really armored, it's just maybe it is. Maybe the back section is armored, but this front section is the same as Inferno, and I don't think that's armored, so partially armored transport military vehicle. Pretty cool looking. It's like a big army bus. I really like this design. I think it looks really cool. It's kind of reminiscent of something you would see from, like, you know, the 80s maybe, army truck. Very cool looking. You can see it has all the same paint applications as you saw in route mode, of course. You just see the tail lights a little better now. And then you do get these window applications on the sides there. There's that stripe that was on the top with those pauldron pieces. Nice red marker lights, everything that you saw in robot mode. This is transparent plastic, by the way, just like Inferno. But it's a whole separate piece. It's not like this whole front section is transparent plastic. These are just actual separate pieces that are plugged in, which is definitely the way to go about doing transparent plastic, in my opinion. And yeah, wheels look really nice. Nice green. He's got some nice weight to him. You can see he's got screw pin joints throughout, just like all New Age figures. Roll the green beautifully. And let's bring in those other figures for comparison. All right, and here we have NEWAGE H47P Backdraft, aka Inferno. There, Bulkhead, what is this guy's name? Sling Blade, aka Bulkhead, and then here's that Cyberverse Legion, whatever, Bulkhead. You can see the three together. Pretty good. I will say, you know, these New Age figures are definitely a little pricey because, you know, this guy's decent size for a little Legends figure, and, you know, he was probably about, like, what, maybe 10, 12 bucks back in the day. And then, you know, the New Age figures now go to like 50 bucks, so they're definitely pricey little figures, but in my opinion, they're well worth it because this guy weighs probably a good bit more than this guy, you know. I mean, feeling them now, it's not actually as significant as you might expect because this is a dense little figure, but, you know, this guy's die-cast in it and lots more joints, and the engineering is truly quite impressive for such a tiny figure, you know, rivaling that of like the X-Transbot figure that they could pull off. An equally impressive figure at this scale is pretty remarkable. So just sliding Transformers Prime Bulkhead all the way. You can have a look at these two. So as you can see, you know, their entire front cab section is identical, just different paint. And the wheels are also the same as well. Everything on the side is the same. He just doesn't have the fire hose. He does still retain the jacks on the side, which I think is actually probably semi-accurate for a truck like this. You know, if it's like being stationed out at a base, you know, they might put on jacks just so it doesn't roll away or whatnot. But then you can see, yeah, this whole back section is different, though the transformation is identical. The arms is still in the same place. It's just now you have this back section opposed to a fire spout, or in the case of grapple, a crane. On the back, you can see differences there. And if you notice on this guy, they did, I think, actually paint this red too on Backdraft there. It's just very hard to see because he's red, but you can see it very well on Bulkhead here. Here's the back. They don't clean up either that well from the back. You know, they have a few gaps in them, but I don't think it looks that bad. I really like these figures. They both roll really well. They're awesome little vehicle modes. You know, they're like the size of Matchbox cars. They're so much fun. Highly recommend them. Check out the link in the description below. Many more New Age reviews to come, so stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.